Hi, welcome to Easy Gourmet. I am your host today, Michael Mercil, and our chef today is Tom Zenz from the Speakeasy, one of the best chefs in town. Today we have a few guests with us. Marga from, where are you from, Marga?
I'm an interior designer here in Detroit Lakes for Floors & More.
Okay, and our next guest today is Susie Bement. Susie, what do you do?
I'm an early childhood special ed teacher and program director for the White Earth Indian Reservation.
And Beth Pridey.
Well, I'm actually a local business owner. I own 3 businesses in Washington Square Mall.
And last but not least, we have Deanna. Deanna, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Deanna Sinclair. I'm the owner of Multiple Technologies, the Xerox agency, so I'm your local Xerox lady.
Wow, wow. Thanks for joining us today.
Welcome.
For our first entree that we're going to perform on our show is a crusted grouper with a mango chutney. We're going to go over our ingredients first, and just so you know, you can check out the recipe on our website at any time, and that's speakeasydl.com. We will make sure that they're up there for you. So we're going to start off with an 8-ounce fillet, which is just a perfect size for just about anybody. And after you get the 8-ounce fillet thawed, or if it comes fresh, make sure you know that if you can't find grouper, you can always check through your local butcher and ask him if he can get it in special for you. Some other substitutions that may work are
orange roughy or cod, or as close as you can get around Minnesota for the most part.
You could even do salmon with this, couldn't you?
Yeah.
All right.
Use walleye?
Yeah. Walleye would work great for this.
Yeah.
Really would.
Why not? Why not? Walleye would be great. You know, we got a lot of that around here. So anyway, the first thing that we want to do to the grouper is to mix up our own special seasoning, which is 2 parts paprika, 2 parts lemon pepper, and 1 part Lowry's. And you mix all of that up into a little cup and baste the fish with some melted butter, and then sprinkle the seasoning on top of that. The crust is going to be macadamia nuts, and all you do is put that into your what's that called again?
Food processor.
Your food processor. Yep. And grind that up a little bit so it's coarse, but not like peanut butter. And once you get that out, mix a little breadcrumbs in with it. And you can buy your breadcrumbs at the grocery store, or you can actually cut them up with some dry bread. It just doesn't matter.
Are macadamia nuts the best nut to use, or is there...
You know, macadamia nuts is probably one of the richest nuts to use.
Okay, so that's why you're using
You
it?
can use pecans, you can use almonds, you can use walnuts, but macadamians have some of the best flavor for something like this.
Okay.
And they definitely complement some of the other ingredients that we're using, which would be the mangoes, the fresh mangoes. You quarter a fresh mango. And roast some red peppers, and like we've mentioned before, you can buy your roasted red peppers right in the store. They're already done for you. And if you don't, if you want to go the distance, you can roast them right over a flame. You know, and not everybody has the ability to do this, you know, because not everybody has a gas stove, but that is definitely the best way to do
Put
it.
them out on the grill outside?
You can put them on the grill, you can throw them in your oven. You know, if you're going to throw them in your oven, you're going to have to clean out the pepper and slice it up, and then just roast it with a little olive oil in there.
Right.
The difference, though, I mean, this is how the main chefs do it. The reason why is because it ends up taking the skin off.
Right.
And that is the most bitter part of the pepper.
Right.
So this is one of the best ways to do it. Otherwise, buy it.
Sure.
You know, just go to Central Market and pick up a little bottle of or can. They come in bottles or cans. They're either in olive oil or they're in just water, and you can pick them up in the grocery store, and that works out just fine too. We are all about saving time. We are.
Yeah.
Because most of us don't even cook.
That's true.
Most of us just go to the speakeasy and eat.
Exactly.
Anybody here? Raise your hand.
Raise
Huh?
your, raise your
I
glass.
know, these are some of my best customers. Trust me. So after we throw the fish in the oven, it's going for about 15 minutes. We take it out to see if it's about done, and then we put the macadamia crust on top, throw it back so that we get a nice little crust, and then after that we are going to put the mango chutney on there. We're just going to run through a little bit of this to show you how it's done. You know, one thing that I always need to ask people: when do you think fish is done? Does anyone have a clue? When do you think fish is done?
Well, I know when it's a little bit flaky.
Flaky?
Flaky is
Flaky.
yeah.
A firm white.
Right. What's
Firm.
flaky? You know. I mean,
Yeah.
Those are all good things.
What's
And
the
temperature? Yes. How many people have a meat probe here? Raise your hands if you have a meat probe. Higher, because the camera can't see you.
Right.
Okay, we all have one, huh?
Right.
You know what? There are guides to your meat thermometer. And fish, seafood, should all be at 140 degrees. You know, it's really delicate. You don't want to overcook seafood. Because then it gets tough. You want it right at that 140 degrees. But you don't want it, too under, because that's when you start having problems and getting sick. So, I mean, that's definitely the best way of checking your fish. But if you don't have something like that, you can just kind of cut it open, make sure it's white all the way through, and make sure that that's one of the great ways of making sure that it's done.
Okay.
So, Tom, if you would take over here and just kind of show us how to put this together.
right. I've got a little melted butter. I'm just going to throw it. It's a little bit on top of each fillet. I'm doing. I figure this is about enough for 2 people. And I'll put a little bit of my seafood seasoning on top. Then I'll put a little water in the bottom of the pan because, well, I don't know if in my house whoever cooks doesn't have to do the dishes, but my wife appreciates the water in the pan because then it doesn't burn. And she doesn't have nearly the job cleaning otherwise because all that butter is going to burn to the bottom of the pan.
Sure.
All right.
And it helps keep it more moist, too.
Right.
I mean, definitely.
All right. Now we need a mango chutney, which is all of these.
So Tom's got some honey, some fresh mangoes, the roasted red peppers, a little Italian dressing. And he's going to toss all these things into the food processor and blend it up to make a chutney.
Right. And let's come right after these messages. We'll come back and make that. All right.
Welcome back to Easy Gourmet. Now that our fish is in the oven, it is a good time for us to make the mango chutney. Tom, show us how we do that.
Right. We're just going to put a little bit of this.
And what's that?
Italian dressing.
Okay.
Sorry. A little bit of Italian dressing.
Mango in the oven.
Right. It's an Italian dressing just doesn't have enough sugar, so we add a little bit of honey into that. Then those roasted red peppers we had, and just a little bit of that.
Pinch of this, a pinch of that.
Right. That's kind of
Main ingredient, of course, is your
Right,
mangoes.
mangoes.
You want to
Right.
have plenty of those.
What if you don't have fresh mangoes?
Well, these we actually took off the mangoes ourselves. You peel the mango, you cut them up, you quarter them, but you can buy mangoes. I mean, most of the time you can buy them.
In the jars?
In the
Well,
jars?
I would buy them frozen before I would buy them in the jars.
Oh, okay.
Really?
But there is, I mean, if you guys check out your grocery stores these days, they have chutneys already made up and ready to roll.
Okay.
So you can save some time by doing that.
Okay.
Everyone does it, so
Sure.
don't be afraid to look for it.
Okay.
All right, and we're just gonna pulse this a little bit. Basically, we don't want it, we don't want it as like a dressing.
No, you don't want to pre.
You want it-
You want it chunky.
Right. Just a little bit. There.
Is it meant
Yeah.
to be like a garnish, or is it? Like
No, this is your sauce on
It's your
top of
sauce.
it.
on it.
This
Okay.
is the sauce on top of the fish, and it's what actually complements the macadamians. And this particular fish is great with something a little bit sweet. I mean, it's just perfect, just perfect. We're going to now take our fish out of the oven. We're going to throw a little of the macadamia nuts right on top, and show you how that's done.
There we go. And the fish has been in about 12 minutes. It's going to take about 15 minutes total to get done. But 12 minutes, you want to put the
Bring
crusting
that
it.
over here so we can see that there, Tommy.
That'd be a great. Suppose we could try it that way.
Look at that, it's beautiful, beautiful. Just a little pink still on top, but still starting to get flaky.
Right.
It's a good thing.
It is, Martha.
It is. Pat that
Nice.
down,
Yep.
coat it really good.
Yep.
Gives it a really nice crust.
You put a lot of it on there. Some is going to fall off in the oven.
Yeah, you're
everything
going to
else.
lose a
So-
little bit of it.
Right there.
Pat that down.
Perfect.
Throw it back in the oven. And we've got now probably another 5 minutes.
Right.
And while we're waiting for that, we're going to take a little break. So come back and see us.
Fantastic.
Solid. Personal design consultants.
#1 in Minnesota and the Dakotas for customer satisfaction. Foltz Buildings, completely erected with warranty.
Ask your friends and neighbors. They'll tell you.
Welcome back to Easy Gourmet. We've now had our fish in the oven for a total of about 15 minutes. We got a nice crust of the macadamians, and we pulled it out. Look at how beautiful it looks. Just beautiful. We're going to show you how we're going to plate it up, and we're going to pass it around. We're going to eat a little bit. Tom, if you would have the honors on that.
All right. Grab a spatula. It's a flat spatula works about the best for pulling these out. Just put that.
Fish is very delicate right now. Very tender, very flaky. It's just about going to fall apart, and it's just perfect.
Right. And don't put your hand in that water because it's
Don't
very
forget,
hot.
yeah. The water is very hot. Let's get rid of this here. Now, as you know, we put our rice into little cups. And the reason why we did that is because we like the formation of the cup. And look how beautiful that looks.
What kind of rice is it?
This is just a nice long grain and wild rice mixture. We use this at the speakeasy quite often. And then we top it with a nice little white sauce, which is just phenomenal.
Right. You put a little bit of this chutney.
So normally we would serve a little veggie with this. We have a great veggie blend at the Speak with a little bit of yellow carrots, which you don't see, green beans, red peppers, and broccoli. Just a beautiful, beautiful dish.
Put a little bit of this around it.
And there you have it.
Wow, beautiful.
The macadamia crusted grouper
Very good.
with a little mango chutney served with, rice is just perfect for it. A little long grain and wild rice mixture. The recipe can be found on our website, www.speakeasydl.com.
Delicious, very good.
How is it, ladies?
Wonderful.
Huh? Isn't that good? A lot of times people ask what they should be serving with their fish, and quite often they're wondering if they can put red with it or if they can put white with it. And with something like what we're serving today, the grouper with the mango chutney, something a little sweeter like the Pinot Grigio is just perfect. Keep in mind that if you prefer reds, it's okay. It's okay to use a red wine, but this is definitely going to complement it. This might clash a little bit. The Cabernet, because it's too dry. Pinot Grigio definitely is what will go very nicely with it. I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you, guests, for coming over to my house and enjoying in our food tonight. Thank you, Chef Tom, for preparing our meal today. Please come back and join us for our next show, where we'll be preparing a 10-minute meal for all those people that are on the go. Thanks for coming.